Hey, I'm Hancine.
Hi, I'm Saskia.
And we're part of the team that run Leading Change for Good. We have a diverse range of people who come on our course, ranging from corporate right through to not-for-profit and community-driven organisations. You may be questioning why you've signed up and maybe have some doubts arising in your mind. But we're here to let you know that it is perfectly normal and that we really want you to experience this amazing course of Leading Change for Good. So Saskia, what's the time commitment on Leading Change for Good?
Well, it's really a little bit diverse in how much you actually want to spend on it. Obviously, we have what we call flip prep as part of our weekly sessions. A flip prep is we do flip preparation, so we give you articles and videos and some things to watch and ponder over so that you're prepared for the topic that you're going to discuss in the online sessions. There's also 6 full day sessions that we have throughout the 34 weeks. So that means that you have a full day that you have to plan out within your calendars and commit to that, and ask if you're employed, you ask your employer to see if you can have that time off. In between the sessions, so the flip prep is part of it, but what we also notice is that people, because the topics are so deep and touch people, that people start thinking about it. So whilst we say, because of the fact that this is a postgraduate course, there is obviously rules around how much time we officially say there should be spent on. This is generally not seen as additional time. It is just how you sit and you read something in the paper and you go, hey, I've just learned about that. I want to know a little bit more about climate change, or I want to know a little bit more about wayfinding leadership. And you just start thinking about it and reading about it, and that is all part of what will happen. So whilst it is additional time that you may not have spent if you didn't join the course, it is not generally by our cohorts not seen as a lot of real additional time that you have to set apart.
Right, so I put aside my 2 hours for my weekly session, and then I've got my block course, which block days, so there's 6 of those, and I could be online or I could be in person, and that's completely up to me. And I should set aside a little bit of time to do a bit of reading before, but it's not too much.
That's right. Yeah, that sounds about right. And the online or in the Mind Lab is a good point too, because we do the full day sessions. We used to do them in the Mind Lab, but obviously because of COVID, we've changed our ways a little bit, and now there is a choice. You can either take them online or you can come into the Mind Lab and have the connection in between the sessions that we facilitate as well. Obviously, because this is a postgraduate course, there will be assessments as part of it, which might frighten people a little bit, especially if you haven't studied for a while, or even if you have studied and you knew how much it frightened you when you did have to do exams and stuff. How does that work with Leading Change for Good?
Yeah, I think that's something that's really special about Leading Change for Good. That's something that we really have worked on within the program and across the Mind Lab actually, so that we want assessment to be really practice-based, really natural to your environment and to who you are as a learner. So assessment can be done in groups, it can be done individually. Assessment doesn't have to be a written essay. Assessment can be a video, it can be art, it can be a portfolio of work, it can be how you would like to express your knowledge. And as long as you are meeting the learning outcomes, which we will guide you towards, then you do you.
That sounds really fun.
So Saskia, I'm just a little bit worried, what about if I can't afford it?
Yeah, it's a really good point. One of the things that Mind Lab is really good at is really making sure that finances are not going to be the barrier for you to study. If you want to study and if you want to learn with us, there are a range of options that can be provided and that you can actually tap into. So if there is any worry whatsoever, speak to the Mind Lab and we'll find a solution that fits you. That's really what I would say. I think if that is the only fear that you have or only worry that you have, please do not just pull out because of that. Talk to us first. Yeah.
Cool. And if I'm struggling, I really want my boss to contribute to this as professional learning for myself. Do you have anything that you could help guide the process?
Really good point, and bosses should listen because you will add a lot of value back to the organization, and we do have pre-written templates that you can use if you want to use that to send to your boss that will help explain why it is so important that you are going to do this development for yourself. Because it's a postgraduate course, it sounds a little bit scary as well if I don't necessarily feel that I have experience maybe in the sustainability space or maybe even in studying space in general. What do you advice on that?
Yeah, it's a really good point. I think, postgraduate study is postgraduate study. So there are some requirements for entry. So we do ask that you have a bachelor's degree or 4 years experience in industry. So either one is absolutely fine, just to enter the course. However, if you haven't studied for a while, then this is the right course for you, because we really take care of you. I've already talked about the assessment side of things, so we try and demystify that, but also the experience you get from others within the cohort and what you share with each other is a huge learning, and so your contributions in that space are going to be hugely valuable, not only for you to be able to share and reframe your thinking, but also for others to learn from you, which is quite a special experience.
What if I have had some experience studying in the past, and I'm keen to learn, but I'm a little bit afraid that the experience will be bad again, because I just have all these memories of school not being too good for me. What do you think is different here in the Mind Lab and with Leading Change for Good?
Well, the Mind Lab is here to disrupt education. It really, really does that. And I can speak from my own experience. I've studied at the Mind Lab, I've worked at the Mind Lab. I am dyslexic myself. I've struggled with writing my entire life, but I would absolutely love this environment to study within, because it has all the support that you need on the ground, wrap around. We have tools, we have flexibility within our assessments, we have people that you can talk to about that. We have understanding ears, we have empathy. The Mind Lab is certainly a place that will take everybody in. It can challenge you in other ways that you haven't really thought of, which again adds value to this whole undertaking of study. So we get to the end of Leading Change for Good and people are saying, why are we finishing? Can we have another session? Can we have another catch-up? Can we keep these sessions going on? Because the community that you've built within the cohort is just so special, and we really feel that as facilitators, and we really love to be part of this journey with you, and that's what's really exciting. So if you're a little bit nervous, just sign up, see how it goes. We know you'll love it. We absolutely know you'll love it. Trust that you've made the right decision to join us at the Mind Lab. It's a fantastic experience, and we can't wait for you to be with us.